What's up, you guys? Sean Ross Sapp here for the Fightful.com Matt Riddle BROCAST for January 5th. Matt, what's up?
Nothing, man. Crazy developments here in the Riddle household.
Do tell.
So, we're driving home from the grocery store yesterday, and we see a guy running 5 huskies. And my wife goes, I think that's our dog Dutch right there. I go, really? So I turn around, park, and my wife runs after the guy running the 5 dogs. Well, wouldn't you know it, it's been a year. But our dog Dutch, we found him. And like he was adopted, not adopted, but he's still like looking to be adopted. So we applied paperwork, and of course they called us back because the guy knows it's us, and they're coming to the house to they had to do the whole adoption process thing.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I thought you were going to tell me that like this man stole your dog.
Not at all. He
was practicing for the Iditarod, the husky race.
Dude, he was there with like 5 other huskies, just running, just living the dream. And
so it's been a year since you lost him?
We lost him January 29th last year.
Wow.
Yeah. And
that's unbelievable.
And they found him the same day we lost him. It's just like he went to a different shelter, like one we normally don't go to, not a local one. So.
Damn. So how far away was he this whole time?
Not that far, like literally like miles away.
Oh, damn.
No, it's only been a year. He's looks good. He was really happy to see us though. He
went old school on you all. Like back at like 60 years ago, you could just, if you wanted to disappear, all you had to do was move to the next town over.
That's true.
Like nobody's gonna find you.
Hey,
interesting. That's awesome.
So yeah, so we're probably gonna get our dog back. I don't see why we wouldn't.
So had they what did they say when your wife chased the guy down? What was his reaction?
He could tell that was our dog. Like because they call him like Hawkeye because he has one blue eye and one brown eye. So but we were like Dutch, and when we say Dutch, he comes running right for us.
Oh, wow.
It's our dog. We had him for a couple of years. Like he's like 4 years old now.
So tell me, why'd you name him Dutch, Matt?
Just he looks like a Dutch, He's just like Siberian Husky. My friend growing up had a Norwegian Husky. I
love Huskies.
And he named his dog Dutch. And he lost his dog. And I got a Siberian Husky, and I was like, might as well name him Dutch, keep the tradition going. And I lost my dog, but I found it. So
I think Siberian Huskies are like the most beautiful dogs like ever. I think they're awesome.
Dutch is a pretty legit dog. Soon enough, I might be doing the podcast with Dutch next year.
Yes.
Yeah. So
that'd be legend. We need a cameo.
I'll be honest, my parents aren't too happy I found Dutch.
Why?
The family doesn't like Dutch because he's a big Siberian Husky, and he's got a lot of energy. He's just like me, a lot of energy.
What would you do if you found out your family had plotted against you and gave Dutch to a shelter?
I don't think they have the energy or the time to do that. But I wouldn't. You know what? I wouldn't pass it by them. Like they think they know better than I do. Like I told you. It's like I'm tired of you making mistakes.
Shots fired. What are you doing on your table there?
I'll just rubbing my phone. There's like some dirt on it, so I was just rubbing it.
It's beating into your microphone, Matt.
Oh, I'm sorry. Is it that sensitive?
Yeah, it's a high-powered microphone, Matt.
This Yeti is good.
It is good.
It
It's
is.
fantastic. And it doesn't get you arrested when you take it to China, which is pretty cool.
Nothing. You know what though? The one cord, the one element of the cord, one component is bent. It's working fine, but I might have to invest in another one of these cords.
I will say that the cords that come with these are absolute dog shit.
Always.
Because
Accessories, even with good equipment, accessories are always dog shit.
yeah.
It's just how it goes.
So Matt, you were at AAW Friday. Had a lot of friends there. How was that show?
It was good. Your boy Chief, great name, good guy. Yeah. The show was good. I mean, there was a little bit at the end where Homicide cut a promo,
I
and
heard about this.
and he said some things that you know, I mean, we're telling the story here. You know, I'm all about telling the story. His story got a little vulgar, a little intense, one might say. Said some strong words, some offensive words, but hey, but the show overall, the wrestling was really good, and I had a good match with Davey Richards, TNA
He's back.
standout. Yeah, he's back, and yep, and then yeah.
This was a really noteworthy show. Like a lot of stuff happened. Chris Hero broke the damn top rope. We have video of that on Fightful.com.
Chris Hero running the ropes a million miles per hour, like you're supposed to. I'll give him that. Like he was hitting the ropes like a god, you know, a stallion, like a stallion. But like when you're that size and you're hitting the ropes like a luchador wrestling a lucha match against Pentagon Jr. And then like once the top rope broke, like I feel like a lot of their stuff was out the window. You know?
So was that top rope repaired to the level it needed to be for the rest of the show? I know you wrestled before that, but
I did. Well, I think so. Because Phoenix, I believe, and Sammy Callahan wrestled the main event, and he does some high flying stuff. So, and he did some stuff. So yeah,
yeah, the Homicide promo in question, he used some sexual slurs, but he apologized afterwards. He released a video.
Why? He shouldn't have. He should have been like, "Yo, that's the story I was telling."
He apologized. I guess AAW maybe made him.
Oh, okay.
There were a lot of people. Well, at least one of the reports I saw, people were kind of hurt by it. But I mean, like, it's entertainment. Like,
I'll be honest. I talked to some people, and some of the people I talked to were all hurt about it. And I was like, yeah. I was like, you can't read too far into stuff. I don't think he meant it that way. Granted, you shouldn't use it in a derogatory manner, but still, I don't.
Yeah.
You know, he's kind of promoing a mic. He's not like he means this personally.
My thing is, where do you draw the line? Like, where is it okay and where is it not okay? If it's entertainment, like, I always draw the comparison to like Breaking Bad. Like, it's not wrong in Breaking Bad if they say that. People are like, well, it's a TV show. It's entertainment. Well, this is entertainment too, isn't it?
It's entertainment. And then the thing is, like, a character like Homicide is like,
yes,
he's Homicide. Like, it's murder. Like, 187. Like, I'm pretty sure he has moves in his move set that are called like 187 and like the Murder Squad and like.
Yes,
I'm pretty sure. I'm not 100% accurate, but like I'm pretty sure that's his gimmick. So like for him to say like those things, you know, seems legit.
I wish that we would go to more of it doesn't have to be edgy, but just an era where people aren't so offended by storylines in wrestling, like, because it's entertainment. And there are people that are misogynistic. There are people that are homophobic. There are people that beat women. And why not portray those in wrestling? I mean, who doesn't want to beat the shit out of somebody who beats women? And if that sells you a ticket, hey, whatever.
And the thing is, I think there are promotions that do that, you know? Like, I still think, like, there are like look at AAW, like they're still doing like more hard stuff like that. Like you cut a promo, you can swear and do other things, even beyond and other places where like they'll have intergender matches and you'll see chicks get hit with chairs or tombstones or like there's still I feel like there's still those elements, but they're on the indies and they're like it's a niche market.
Yeah. This show, yeah, we had lots of friends of Fightful there. Tyler Valls, he does the commentary for them. Very, very good. We had Trina there, who's done several podcasts. Of course, Chief. How were the merch sales at AAW?
The merch sales were good. We're very successful. The merch game it's always good.
Did they start chanting Fightful podcast? They should have.
They didn't. I got some bro chants. Even Davey Richards started a bro chant for me.
Oh, wow.
After I beat him. It was pretty good. Bros all around.
So did you – I'm sure you didn't stay up until 4 to 7 a.m. to watch the New Japan show the other night, did you?
I mean, I was awake, but I didn't watch it. I think I was actually watching Dragon Ball Z, though.
How dare you? One of the greatest matches I've ever seen in my life, Matt.
I heard there was some cool stuff.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Kenny Omega, Okada. Go out of your way to watch that, Matt. I don't know how you –
I will.
You need to. You need to. But I want to ask you, how the hell did you ring in the new year?
I flew from Chicago to Pennsylvania, and then I fell asleep at like 8 or 9 o'clock and woke up at like 2 a.m.
So you were asleep as it struck midnight?
Oh yeah. Well, the thing is, I've been traveling so much. East Coast.
This is the party animal that WWE is afraid of.
East Coast, West Coast, and yeah, that's the thing. Like I travel, I wrestle, I work out. I have a lot of responsibilities. It's I get sleep when I can, and I'm still off from like traveling to Europe and China so much. It's not a bad thing, but my time, it's a little off.
Interesting.
Yeah.
And like I said, this is the party animal that WWE is afraid of right now.
I'm out of control. I'm just I'm a shredded party animal.
What are you doing with your life, Matt? When are you going to get your head straight?
I did a bunch of yard work, clean. I went crazy on the house because they're coming to inspect the house for the dog.
Oh.
Because they do that. So like it's happening tomorrow.
Is it snowing out there? It's crazy out here right now.
It's not snowing at all. It's cold. It's freezing, but there's no snow.
Yeah, we're snowed in here, and we're a little further south than you.
Whoa, you're snowed in Kentucky, is it?
Yeah. Yeah.
Nice.
So, you got this Evolve booking in San Antonio. I'm going to try to make it.
You're a real Munson.
A Munson? What the hell is that supposed to mean?
You know what it means.
I don't know what a Munson means.
You should.
I'm going to Urban Dictionary Munson.
You should. You're a Munson.
Right now. Let's see. It's from Kingpin.
Is it? Is that what it says?
It says, derived from the film Kingpin, starring Woody Harrelson, whose character's last name is Munson.
Yeah, that sounds about right. That's why I'm calling you a Munson.
It describes someone who has everything going for them, and when they reach the pinnacle of success, they do something that causes them to lose it all. Jesus Christ, Matt.
You're a Munson.
Why are you such a shitty person right now?
Oh, it's funny. It's so funny.
Usually, whatever makes that person lose it all is by a bad decision they have made, driven by greed. Then there's a second one that doesn't have as many thumbs up. A Munson, an idiot, an imbecile, dumb, stupid, or just an overall beauty? What the hell?
The ending, well, that's all the above right there.
Man. I feel like us going through Urban Dictionary should be a new segment on the show.
Well, I'll break out a word. I'll call you an insult or something every show, and you can look it up.
How dare you?
Hey, it's a good time, and it's all for the show. So, dude, but seriously, you should come to that match in San Antonio.
Hey,
weekend.
I'm planning on it. I'm planning on it. There's a Wrestle Rumble thing that I was wanting to take part in, but hey, if you're wrestling there and I can make it,
you can make it. Like, literally, we time our events so you can make NXT, the Rumble, everything. Like,
well, I mean, that's a big part of it.
Yes. Side by side.
I'm planning on it. Matt.
It'll be good. I'm
sure it will be. You're a fantastic wrestler.
You'll see it's not just me. It's a whole show of stallions.
Let's check out some of our news stories of today. Go ahead.
How about this? Ronda Rousey doing good in the cage.
Ooh. Yeah, let's go ahead and talk about that.
That's a big topic, and I feel like not enough people are talking about it because it's happened twice now. So people are like, "Well, that happens," but that's a big deal.
Yeah, that does not happen. What happened to her does not happen at the top levels. I have never seen anybody have their fucking dome rocked like that, uninterrupted, in a title match that quick. I mean, we've seen Aldo get knocked out, but this was a sustained, 48-second drubbing of the head. And did you hear what Amanda Nunes said at the press conference after?
I did not. Well, enlighten me.
So I'll say it basically the way she said it. She said that she was pretty much just expecting Ronda Rousey to have really shitty coaching, and that was her game plan. And as it turned out, that was right. She said that Ronda thinks she's a boxer, and her coach has her convinced that she's a great boxer. So she knew that Ronda would stand with her, and she was going to take advantage of it. Hot damn.
Ronda's the idiot. I don't know why she would stand. You know why? You know why? I'll tell you. You know why people stand? Why grapplers start standing when they fight?
Why?
Because it's so, and I don't mean this against strikers, but it's so much easier to stand up and fight than it is to, like, grind somebody to the earth, hold them down, beat their face, and then submit them. It is so hard to hold, like, a strong human being down and beat their face in. It's so hard. But at the same time, it's, like, the most rewarding feeling.
Nunez also said she doesn't know how Rousey made it this far, and I sort of agree with that because, I mean, she's not a terrible fighter or anything, but the way that people fought her, Matt, just, I'm not a pro fighter here, but common sense tells me if you're facing a woman who won a fucking medal in judo, you don't run at her.
Hey, bro, it's the same thing with you see it. Like, look at Conor McGregor. People stand and trade with him, and it's like, why are you not just like circling away, making Conor chase you? It's like an Anderson Silva thing. It's like, why are you chasing Anderson Silva when you should just be circling away, shooting your jab and leg kick out there, making him come forward and attack? It's the same thing with Conor. It's like, especially if you get takedowns, make him attack, then shoot. It's easier, and people aren't fighting that way. People are, like I said, they'd rather strike, and you pay the price. Sometimes it pays off. Like, you'll see a grappler knock out a striker sometimes, but most of the time, 9 times out of 10, they get picked apart, and it's bad.
Kat Zingano, Sarah McMahon, Liz Carmouche, Alexis Davis, Sarah Kaufman, they were all, Misha Tate even, were all way too willing to get in that clinch. And there was just no reason that should happen. Then you had Betch Kohea, who she's an aggressive striker, but I wouldn't call her a good striker by any means. She throws a lot of arm punches. And the thing about Rousey is she's got a lot of power because she's got all that leg strength and core strength. But when she strikes, she still strikes like she's a judo player. She strikes and stands like she's a judo player, rather. Holly Holm doesn't do that. Amanda Nunes doesn't do that. And the Holly Holm thing, Matt, I mean, I don't know if you saw any of her early fights, but even like when she fought in Legacy, it didn't matter who she fought. It's like she pretended they were Ronda Rousey. Like they were all practice for Ronda Rousey. if anybody would try to clinch her, she would immediately back out of the clinch like it was Ronda Rousey in front of her, even if she could have wrecked those girls in the clinch. Amanda Nunes did what she was supposed to do. She fought Ronda Rousey just like she fought Shayna Baszler, another Edmond Taverdian project. And when you fight those people at range, that's something I want to talk about. What do you think of her coach?
I don't know. Like, this is one thing I'll say about training. I won't say anything about a coach because every coach has their philosophy, whatever. But my big thing, being as successful as I have been with the short amount of time I've been in, like either wrestling or MMA or even amateur wrestling and etc., is you can't just learn from one person. The second you start just learning from one person, you start limiting yourself. You know, like me, I trained in Arizona, I trained in Pennsylvania, I trained in New Jersey, I trained in Vegas. You know, I trained in California. I trained all around the world, you know, and that's how I got good. Even in wrestling, I trained at like 4 different schools. You have to get different looks from different coaches. And I think the biggest problem with, you know, Ronda and Ronda's coach is they're not like, you know, like she's not learning from anybody else. They're not bringing in another striking coach, another wrestling coach, another jiu-jitsu coach, or, you know, nothing's evolving. You know, and the thing is, when you're in the, you know, UFC or in mixed martial arts, the game is evolving every second. You know, like you have to keep evolving. Even wrestling, even jiu-jitsu, even just the bits and pieces of MMA are evolving daily. So you got to be on top of it.
We see things like Fabricio Verdum jumping through the air and kicking somebody in the face. Not a shocker here. One of Edmond's guys got kicked in the face. Travis Brown used to have some like awesome footwork when he first came into the UFC. That's gone now. Training with Edmond. Jake Ellenberger went to Glendale, and he was a solid 170. Wasn't like a world beater or anything, but he was a solid one. He beat like Jake Shields and Marquardt and Diego Sanchez. Then he lost 3 of his 4 fights when he was there. Shayna Baszler was a pioneer of women's MMA. She was catching people in twisters and double wrist locks and everything. Never won a fight after she trained with Edmond. Jessamine Duke was considered one of the top prospects at 135 or 145. Couldn't win a fight after she went to Edmond. Rousey's buddy, Marina Shafir, she had a little bit of a judo background. Started fighting like a boxer and couldn't win any fights. But I don't think that's a coincidence.
All right. So when did all this start happening? Like, has he been cornering women this whole time to like losses?
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
It's pretty rough.
And
if you were to look at his
Ellenberger?
record. Yeah, and Ellenberger left.
I mean,
yeah.
I'm good. I don't have to look at his record, you know.
Yeah. Ellenberger left, and he beat Matt Brown. But, I mean, I think Ellenberger's has more to do with the fact that he's been fighting for 10 years, and he's probably taken a few too many to the dome. But some of the others, it's like it's questionable. But so what was your reaction to hearing or seeing Rousey's performance last Friday?
I wasn't shocked. I figured it was going to go that way or the other way. Like, she was either going to win quick or she was going to lose quick. You know, a big red flag was her not taking any media, her being that standoffish. She looked good at weigh-ins, which was promising, but, you know, she trained hard, but she didn't switch anything up from her previous fight, so the same outcome occurred. Like, she literally did not change a single thing from the last fight.
Not a bit.
Yeah. Like, not even strategy, not even talking coach. Is like strategy didn't change. Like, it was almost like, hey, go out there and prove the world like you can do it, you know, and then she just got knocked out again. So, yeah.
Did you see Dominic Cruz get the brakes beaten off of him?
I saw the fight. The fight was a good fight. That Cody guy is pretty legit.
I couldn't believe it. There is nothing that he had shown in his previous fights that led anybody to believe that he was capable of doing what he did, and he didn't even look tired.
Well, it's the weight class. Guys that like cut that much weight, because not that they're big guys, but for like 100 and what is it, 35 pounds?
Yes.
They're big guys for 135 pounds,
Sure.
And when you make that weight and you weigh 135 pounds, the gas tank, you can go all day, Not making an excuse for them, but you see those guys. There's not an ounce of fat on them. And they're 135 pounds, and they're trained to kill each other, But, yeah, that fight was good. That's like two world-class guys, I feel like Dominic's on his downward spiral. I feel like that's why he lost the fight. I feel like, Dominic Cruz a couple of years ago would have beat the crap out of Cody. But, it's a time is time.
Have you heard of this TNA news?
Good.
Kind of, yeah, I would say good.
Oh, okay. Drop it, brother.
Dixie Carter is out.
Oh.
Jeff Jarrett back in.
As like corporate stuff?
Yes. We reported on Fightful.com last night. Anthem, which is owned by the Fight Network in Canada, has started a new parent company for TNA. Dixie Carter is still a minority owner, very, very small portion. Will serve on an advisory board, but she's out of control. Jeff Jarrett, who ran TNA, helped found TNA, is back in. Now, here's the issue. I was like emailing, texting, messaging a lot of TNA talents and employees about it. All of them but one found out when I asked them for a comment. They had not been told at all. They weren't sent anything. What do you think about that? As you're getting the news that a company is making changes, and you find out from a writer instead of the company itself?
Well, I look at it like this. I feel like maybe the answers aren't 100% in order. Like everything's not official, so they're not going to just say, hey, and tell everybody what's going on until it's 100%. It's the same thing, like even with WWN and the Flow Sports or Flow Slam deal, like it's not like that deal was signed and gave and everybody called everybody and told them it went down. It's like you waited, to make sure everything was good after you just wait until everything's official.
This is a digital age, so I see that happening a lot more these days. Like if this were 15, 20 years ago and the internet wasn't so prevalent, I could see that being more of a problem. But, I just wonder why they weren't maybe emailed or anything. Because, I got a press release that the wrestlers didn't get.
And so the press release was from TNA?
It was from Anthem, the company that now owns TNA.
Oh, well, hey.
It's not, I don't know.
Hey, that's one way of telling all your employees.
Yeah, I guess so. I guess when they know that they send me and other writers stuff that we're going to be asking questions, but
yeah,
there were people. It was said.
I guess I didn't realize Anthem. I get it now. So yeah, that's a little. They should have probably sent something out to their athletes.
Yeah, I just figure if they can send one out to me and other writers, they could, hey, just include the wrestlers in that same one. It's not that bad. But hey, I like it. One wrestler told me that they almost expect something like this to happen at every set of tapings now because something crazy always happens for them. Now we're in a very unique period, Matt. You're always a sought after guy. We're hitting a period. It always happens at the beginning of every year. A lot of contracts are coming up. Drew Galloway's is up next month. The Hardys are up right before WrestleMania. Adam Cole's is up in May. Jay Lethal just re-signed with TNA. Kyle O'Reilly's is up. Bobby Fish rejected a WWE offer and is staying with Ring of Honor. War Machine, theirs are up. Do you like hearing this kind of thing? Is this exciting for you, or are you just because this could add, subtract people you may be working with in the future?
Yeah, well, I know who I'm working with in the future. My schedule is set for like the next 3-4 months. So, I mean, it really, I feel like it doesn't affect me. I'm on the indies, so I can work anybody, anywhere, anytime. I know the only guys that I won't be working probably in the near future are like a lot of Ring of Honor guys, unless I work them at certain shows.
Mm-hmm.
Because I know,
Like PWG.
yeah, because I know they're like, even I saw Silas Young this past weekend at AAW, and we wrestled at the Monster Factory a while back, and he wrestles for Ring of Honor, and I said like, oh hey, you're out here, we should wrestle out here at AAW, and he's like, well, I would love to, but I think my next show is my last one, January 20th or 19th. Because after that, like Ring of Honor is not going to have him doing any more shows, And I was thinking like AEW is not like it's not like TNA or,
Yeah.
it's not like a huge show. It's like a big indie show, but so it's like to me that was a little odd,
The interesting, we've had a lot of people putting this show over for your utter lack of giving a shit about contract status, about anything like that. I think you pretty much know you're going to have a job in wrestling.
Who, me?
Regardless. Yeah, you.
Yeah,
I mean,
there's a lot of jobs in wrestling. Like, look, you have a job because of wrestling and MMA.
What the hell's that supposed to mean?
There's jobs. There's jobs. You just got to be good at stuff, I just so happen to be good at wrestling right now. And I think the big thing I'm just honest. Like anybody can make a living out of wrestling, be it a joke, be it commentary, be it wrestling, be it selling T-shirts, be it selling action figures at the indie shows every weekend, whatever it is. Like you can make a living at wrestling one way or another, from a big scale to a small
Apparently,
scale.
if I have a job in wrestling,
I'm just saying, you've ran shows too.
I've worked shows. I helped book a show or two.
You've helped out.
Also, somebody
what goes into it.
Somebody in the chat notes that Team Alpha Male and Chris Cyborg's camp both reached out to Ronda Rousey. If I'm Ronda Rousey, I'm jumping all over the Team Alpha Male thing because I don't think she's leaving California. No chance in hell she leaves California.
Yeah. But I don't know. Maybe she needs to get out of California. Maybe she needs – I feel like, and I don't mean this weird, but I remember training next to Gina Carano, and I feel like some of these chicks, they reach a certain level of success, and they kind of – like, and so do guys. Like, I feel like certain guys, they reach a certain level of success, and, like, especially with the camera and the lights and, and, like, Gina, like, Ronda, like, others in the past, like – it gets to them, and they crack under the pressure.
Yeah, I don't know about training with Cyborg, but sticking around, maybe going to Team Alpha Male. I've heard worse ideas. King's MMA is also near. Like there are plenty of places in California to train.
There's plenty of places. I would have figured Team Alpha Male would have been the best because all those guys are her size, like legitimately. Mm-hmm.
She does have issues with Paige Van Zant, but I mean, Ronda Rousey was just being shitty to people around that period. I want to read an excerpt.
Ronda's just jealous because Paige Van Zant's prettier.
I'm not touching that with a 10-foot pole. I'm not touching that one at all.
What do you mean? She's not prettier?
I'm not getting accused of anything. I'm not.
Oh, are you not allowed to say people are attractive?
Well, of course I can, but man, on Twitter. If you're a writer and you get accused of sexism and all this goofy shit, man. It's
dude,
ridiculous.
I post pictures of myself in my underwear all the time, and
yeah, I mean, you don't have to worry about that. That's your gimmick.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, that's my gimmick. That's just me posting pictures of me in my underwear.
I'm going to read an excerpt from last week's Wrestling Observer newsletter.
Oh, I hope it's good.
Yeah, I'm interested to see what you say. We talked about it a little bit. It says, while they haven't made an official offer, or hadn't at least of 2 weeks ago, WWE is more open to Matt Riddle than a few months ago. Everyone knows he's one of the best prospects to come along, in the sense not many in modern history have ever gotten so good in so few matches. Riddle is under contract to Evolve, but that means nothing, as Evolve's policy is to always release guys if WWE wants them. I have no idea why New Japan doesn't go after him, although it probably is inevitable that he'll be in WWE and probably a major star at some point. Matt, what are your thoughts on that?
I mean, I think he's hitting it right on the head. I think as long as I keep working hard and doing what I'm doing right now, getting the matches I'm getting and putting on the performances that I am and getting – I think the biggest thing is getting better and better, like improvement. And I think that's what I'm doing every time I go out there. So I think after this month, I think after January – because I'm going to be in England a lot this month, and I'm wrestling Shibata this month. And I think when people see that match with Shibata and that, gets some eyes on it, I really think that'll open up some of the Japanese promoters, like maybe New Japan or Dragon Gate or – and not maybe we don't do something crazy, but maybe I get to go over there and play a little bit. Come on.
Are you able to do New Japan under this deal?
The thing is, me and Sal, we are very close, and we do business not just in professional wrestling, but in mixed martial arts. And we've already compromised on multiple things, so. I'm pretty sure if the opportunity was right and it would benefit the both of us, I don't see why I couldn't,
Wrestling's in such a cool spot these days because, like 10 years ago, that ain't happening. Everybody wanted their people. They wanted them where they were, and they didn't want them working anywhere else.
And don't get me wrong, to a certain extent, that's still the case,
Yeah.
There's trust me, there's still places like I can't work. And even even other places where I might still not be able to work, we might be able to work something out, but it would, we would have to work something out, But if
this were 2005, they would not let you out of a deal to go to WWE if that offer was there. That shit would not happen.
You don't think so?
Oh, hell no. Hell no. If everybody was so territorial and stuff, and I'm sure there were a few exceptions, but
even on the indies?
Well, I mean, this is a unique situation of the indies these days. What is an indie anymore? Indies didn't really used to sign a lot of people to exclusive contracts or semi-exclusive contracts. It was just it's a cool period. I think it was Gabe that tweeted out maybe about a month or so ago when Flow Slam started. He's like, if you're an indie wrestler and you're not where you want to be at this point, you've really got just yourself to blame because there are options everywhere.
Yeah. But, I think this is one big thing is I know I'm under contract and stuff, but being under contract is not the bee's knees, Being under contract is like you're under contract, which means there's rules. And, the only reason you should sign a contract is because you're financially going to benefit from it. If you're not going to financially benefit or you see something out of it, you shouldn't sign a contract. There's no need to. You should just be like, no, I'll just work for you and we can, do it like that. Because what's the point of signing a contract unless you benefit greatly from it? Because you're limiting yourself.
I just want to make a few points about that excerpt that Meltzer wrote. It said, WWE is more open to Matt Riddle than a few months ago. Hey, you know what didn't exist a few months ago? The Fightful.com BROCAST. I don't think that's a coincidence.
I don't know if it is.
I think they see you on here and they're like, that Matt Riddle. He's in with that Sean Ross Sapp guy. We better snatch him up real quick.
I think they see a lot of potential with our podcast.
Yeah, must be.
Maybe we get a spot on the network. They're like we like daily.
Could you imagine?
Dude, imagine if we had a daily podcast and we interview people every day.
Could you imagine if we get on there and we start talking about Lyoto Machida drinking his own piss?
You look like the one guy that already works for WWE.
Tom Phillips.
You probably, but with a beard.
I get that a lot. I get that a lot.
What's his name? Tom Phillips?
Yeah, I get that all the time.
How does that
He might be a little
feel?
taller than me, though. I don't know. Let me see how tall he is. I'm like
How-
6 feet tall.
Whoa, you're a giant in that office chair.
Well, I mean, I get that a lot too. People are like, "You're deceptively tall," but
Yeah, you
everybody
look
always sees me
shorter.
sitting
You
down.
look shorter on the webcam.
Oh, hey,
You know, and like
Tom Phillips is also 6 feet tall.
me. My webcam is like I just showed like the whole room almost.
Yeah. Well, my thing is, my desk is pushed up against a wall, so I can't be like back like this or anything. I mean, I guess I could.
You could.
But how well are you able to hear me? Okay. I don't
Well,
know.
I don't know if you brought your microphone closer to you. Like,
Well, it's
like my
it's
my webcam's on my TV. My Steam machine's under my TV on my TV stand, and I'm just sitting on my couch with my microphone on my coffee table, talking all slow.
True. Yeah. See, my mic is at the edge of my table. One day when I get this office finished, I will do like a virtual tour or something, but not right now. We're in the middle of remodeling.
Yeah, me too, bro. I'm always
Also-
remodeling. I got 3 kids.
It's true.
My house is smashed.
Also, I don't think it's any coincidence that the WWE has renewed interest in you 1 week after we talked about people shitting on the street on our podcast.
Yes.
Hey.
Well, you know, the thing is, I think they need people that aren't afraid to hit the topics. And yeah.
Okay, you watch a lot of the network. Did you watch their new show on Monday?
I actually haven't been watching. I usually do watch a lot of the network. I haven't lately.
It was
What
fucking
happened?
infuriating to me.
What was it? Was it another Camp WWE? That was fucking gross. That was horrible. Who wrote that? Who wrote that? Seth Green. That guy should be taken out back and beaten to death. What's that?
What didn't you like about Camp WWE?
What do you mean? You know what it was? It was just very poorly written. Like the animation wasn't bad. It was just very poorly written, and the jokes were garbage. It was like, and the thing is, I'm all for swearing. I love, you know, a good swear, especially in a cartoon. It adds, you know, it's cartoon swearing, whatever. But at the same time, there was unnecessary swearing in that show. Like no joke, no punchline, no nothing. Just say the F or say fucking shit and whatever. And they were saying it for no reason, no jokes. And you know that made me upset because it wasn't even like it was just like excessive swearing for no reason. And then after that, you could tell like they're like, well, no swearing at all. And I'm like, well, no, that's not what you do. You need to go in the middle, you know?
Yeah.
You need good jokes.
Make it mean something.
You got to tell a story. You guys, Vince, you should know all about this. Tell Seth Green to tell a story, not just to get his shit in with the swear words.
I like that. I like that. It's just like any wrestling match. You have to make the high spots mean something. Cursing is a high spot in cartoons. You can't just bombard people with high spots.
You got to hit a couple arm drags and drop kicks before you hit a dive over the top. You know?
I like it. So this new show, they had Peter Rosenberg. Do you know who Rosenberg is? He's a DJ for Hot 97. Really smart dude.
Okay.
He works for ESPN.
Most DJs are like, what kind of disc jockey? Just
and he's a personality. Like he's a noted wrestling fan. He's appeared on the pre-shows a couple times, but they had him host this show, and it was kind of like, pardon the interruption, on ESPN. And they had JBL, who was just fine there. He was actually really good, and Paul Heyman. And I'm a fan of Paul Heyman, but man, Paul Heyman was in full carny mode. Full carny mode. And their whole thing was people on the internet bitching and moaning. People on the internet bitching and moaning. And I'm like, okay, so people sat through 3 hours of Raw, and your most hardcore of fans then tuned into the network, and you're going to shit on them for bitching and moaning because they don't like something. And there was this spot where JBL broke down why Raw is 3 hours. And it's a financial situation. They make a lot of money off of that extra hour. And Paul Heyman's like making Rosenberg, this DJ, he's like, do you want it 2 hours or 3 hours? And Rosenberg says, well, I'd like it a lot more if it were 2 hours, but I understand you got to make money. So it's fine, 3 hours. You have to go back and watch this and how Heyman held the poor guy hostage, which that's Heyman's deal. Heyman is what he is, and he's really good at it. But man, I think you need to check that out. It's something. If you're watching Total Divas, you better be watching
Total
this show.
Divas brings that fire. This chat sounds kind of boring. No, I'm kidding. Extra hours of Raw.
No, it's just watch the interaction. It's nothing groundbreaking.
I'll watch it.
It's just frustrating because you see the way that WWE thinks through this show. It's that take what we give you and like it type of thing. Like, how dare you voice your opinion on something you like or don't like?
Hey, bro. Hey, bro. You don't have to get me started.
Just saying, man.
I've seen it. Been there, done that. Well, didn't do it. Seen it.
Well, I mean, you blew through a damn tryout, didn't you?
I did smash a tryout. I was literally chanting out my numbers while I was doing the routines and saying my name.
Were you?
With ease, yeah. Stallion.
You were chanting out your numbers.
Well, so they have you go ring to ring, and you have to do like a cardio exercise, and before you get in the ring, you wipe your feet off, hop in the ring, and you say your name, and then you do like a series of like 5 to 10 exercises. Well, during my exercises, I could like count while doing the exercises, while most people were just blown up. Not bragging, I'm just saying. Good cardio.
That's impressive. I've seen a lighter version of those tryouts. They do them publicly at the Arnold Classic in Columbus, and they don't look fun.
They're not bad. It's just a lot of it's like a lot of people don't realize moving your body, like rolling, back rolling, bumping, sprawling a different way, hitting the ropes, that all that stuff, especially doing it properly with the steps properly and everything right. It takes a lot of concentration and work, but
I've got some news for us, some news stories for us, Matt.
News story. Or is it news?
News stories.
News stories. Cool.
Doctors remove scissors from man's abdomen after 18 years.
Okay, that can happen.
A man from Vietnam was walking around for 18 years with evidence of a cutting-edge medical mistake, a pair of surgical scissors that were left in his body. Saturday, doctors removed scissors from the abdomen of a 54-year-old that were discovered during a routine medical check. The 6-inch scissors were found next to his colon and had become rusted. They had been left in there by a surgeon in 1998.
Does he now? Has it been too long? Can he file a claim?
I would hope so.
Or they're like, you're good. Like this actually strengthened your immune system having these scissors in you.
Rusty scissors.
Like you're immune to tetanus.
What would you do if you found out? If you're getting your Evolve WWE medicals done? Have you ever had surgery, Matt?
No comment. Yeah, I've had surgery. I've had multiple hand surgeries, multiple knee surgeries, meniscus, and then plate in the hand and stuff.
So what would you do if you figured out that there was a scalpel hidden in your knee?
Well, I feel like I would have found out by now.
18 years, Matt. This was next to the dude's colon.
Well, the thing is, I'll tell you this. Like, did the guy say anything? Like, after that surgery, nothing was the same. Like, I just couldn't do anything. I thought that was just part of the surgery. I would like a description of that because you can't really just go 18 years with, like, scissors in you if it's uncomfortable.
He said he had been feeling some discomfort. He didn't release like a quote or anything, but it looked like the scissors had become like bent. It looks nasty.
Looks gross. I bet, bro. I was surprised metal detectors didn't go off more with him in it with the scissors.
Throughout the 18 years, he had been prescribed ulcer medications here and there.
That'll happen.
That'll happen with those rusty
Dude,
scissors.
that'll happen with a plate of hot wings. So it's like can't really blame the scissors for that either.
Come on, it's rusty scissors, Matt.
Yeah, like if you tell me he was a vegan and he had to take like Nexium, I'd be like, all right, these scissors fucked him up. But at this rate, it's like I've taken Nexium growing up as a kid because my diet sucked.
So because he was taking Nexium, you think that the rusty scissors didn't have anything to do with it?
This isn't that bad.
Come
I'm
on
not
now.
saying
I think we're losing you a little bit, Matt. Are you there?
losing me.
I was a little bit here and
awesome.
there.
Oh, it makes me sad to hear.
We got,
You might
I
be
bet it does.
losing me.
We got one more news story. Animal control removes a giant snake found chilling out in a toilet bowl. This happened in Virginia. They pulled a 5-foot yellow anaconda from the bathroom of an Arlington apartment. This is every child's worst fear.
That's my worst fear, especially
down,
when you're taking a poop or something.
Yeah, you sit down, you take a dump, you get your ass bitten.
I'm not even worried about my ass. Like I can take like an ass biting.
Yeah, it's true.
You know, the dong bite, the beanbag bite. That's like game over. He pierces like a vein.
I would imagine that's a lot like a Chinese finger trap where you have to go in instead of out if you want to survive.
Yeah, well, that's when you gotta like. You probably should just like pull it off and like chop off its body, like from its head.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Oh, a 5-foot yellow anaconda snake.
A 5-foot. A 5-foot, it sounds big, but that's actually not that big.
Well, I mean, when it's in your toilet, it's pretty big.
Think about it. For it to fit in a toilet, you can't fit in a toilet. I can't. It's not that big.
Yeah, but
It was barely in there. There's no way you would even sat down in that thing without being like, there's a snake in there.
Maybe snakes can live in water.
How did it get in there? Did it go up through the pipe?
Let's see.
Or did it like slither from an apartment nearby into their apartment or something?
Oh, and somebody did go to use the restroom, and it was just curled up in the toilet bowl. They don't know how it got in there. They said it could be that the heat kicked on and the floor was so warm that they were seeking a water source to cool off a little bit. They can get loose, make their way through people's walls, and just show up wherever there is a hole.
Wow, that sounds dirty.
Sounds horrifying. Matt, what do you have going on?
They can just show up wherever there's a hole. Damn snakes.
We've all known somebody like that. Matt, what do you have going on this weekend?
This weekend, I have off.
Really?
Yeah, I have off. Well, next weekend it's my birthday, but I'm traveling to England and I'm wrestling a whole bunch and stuff like that. And then the following weekend I'm wrestling a whole bunch and I'm traveling to England again, and then I'm going to Texas.
There are no major MMA events. There are no major wrestling events. Matt's not working, but Fightful.com has features for you.
I'll be honest. I wouldn't even mind working, I guess, but like I wasn't planning on it. But like I don't even like. I know like my buddy Jeff Cobb isn't working, and I know a couple other of my boys aren't like working this weekend. So I feel like this is Stallion week off.
Is there any friendly shit talking going on between you and Cobb over the Submission Underground deal?
Well, the thing is with the Submission Underground deal, I don't know. Have you seen Submission Underground promoting it?
Not at all.
Yeah. And now this is what I've been told. Flow Sports, they had a guy representing Jeremy Botter, and I don't know what's going on, but I heard he was no longer working there.
Yes, he is not working there anymore.
And he was the one that told me about the match and stuff, and Cobb. But now he's not working there, and they're not like promoting it, and I don't know who to talk to about it or anything. Because the only person I talked to at Flow Sports, other than the people from the documentary, was Jeremy.
I'll get you in contact with somebody. I know who you should
Sure.
talk to.
Yeah, get me in contact. Let me know, because if not, me and Cobb are probably going to go up to Beyond or go somewhere else and wrestle on WrestleMania or on Royal Rumble Day. Or maybe we'll just.
You also just entered the Royal Rumble.
That's what I'm saying. Like, have me, just do the AJ Styles, enter the Rumble.
Well, I think we lost Matt. Yeah, Matt's gone. Either way, guys, no major wrestling events this weekend, no major MMA events this weekend, no major boxing events this weekend, but Fightful.com is still bringing you the goods, tons of features, including our first Fightful.com Pro Series article from Jason Kincaid, former Ring of Honor wrestler, Evolve wrestler. He takes a look at his trip in Mexico wrestling. I'm so excited for this and other stuff in the Fightful Pro Series. Guys, I want to thank you all so much. Fightful.com is the place to be. Go there, register, sign up, do all that good stuff. It's absolutely free. We give you all the latest wrestling news, reports, live coverage, forums, discussion boards, podcasts, if you didn't notice. Subscribe to us on iTunes and YouTube. We got it all for you. Every damn bit of it, my friends. Fightful.com. Follow us at Fightful Online, at Sean Ross Sapp. Until next time, guys. Hey, that Shane Helms podcast drops tomorrow. He comments on the TNA situation. Also, we discuss gimmick matches and UFC 207, of course. We did our awards show yesterday. Check that out. Till next time, guys. We got some cool stuff coming for you next week as well. Major changes. We're out.